The first one is a USB switch. It allows you to put up to 4 devices coming into the front here. You can do mouse, keyboard, USB flash drive, anything along those lines. And then on the back, you've actually got the 2 USB ports you would use to go to 2 separate computers. And then you also have an additional 5-volt supplementary power if one of your devices needs more than what the USB port can provide. This particular one is really good if you're using like 2 laptops or a laptop and a desktop and they don't need to share the same screen, but you just want to share the keyboard and mouse and any other devices that need to plug into it. One plus side of this particular device is it allows you to manually switch via a button on the back here. And this particular one will also automatically switch inputs whenever it detects a new device is turned on, which is nice. This particular one is a KVM switch, which allows you to plug a mouse and a keyboard into the front of it. And then on the back side here, you have an HDMI port and a USB port that connects to your 2 computers that you're trying to control. And then you have a single output for the HDMI. This one also has a button that allows you to switch manually, which is nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't auto-detect new input between 2 devices, so you'll have to manually switch it each time you need to do it. Go and test out the USB switch first, since I use this on a daily basis. So I've got my mouse and keyboard plugged into it, then I have a USB cable ran over to the laptop, and I have a USB cable ran over to the desktop. And if you come over here, you can see that I have a functioning mouse on this screen, and I can come down here and type. So we can go to Notepad, for example. And as you can see, everything is filling in as needed. Now to switch, since I already have both devices turned on, I'll actually have to come back here and manually push this button on the back and it'll switch inputs. And now as you can see, mouse and keyboard are still lit up. Nothing's moving around on this screen, but if we come over to the laptop screen, you can see my mouse and everything moving around. And we can come up here and go to like YouTube, and as you can see, that all seems to be functioning as intended. All right, now I wanted to go ahead and test out the KVM switch. Ignore the cable mess down here. I don't daily drive this, so it's a bit of a mess here. But as you can see, I have my keyboard and mouse connection plugged in here. And then on the back side, I have an HDMI cable going to the laptop, an HDMI cable going to the desktop, and then the respective USB cables for each one of those. And if you come up here, as you can see, I got a functioning mouse. Spam around on the keyboard, that all seems to be functioning properly. And then there's a button right here at the top, and if you push that, it'll take a couple seconds, but they have a shared screen here. And in a second, this will pop up for the laptop. And then there you go. So I have a mouse moving around over here, and then you come over here, I still have a mouse here. And of course the keyboard does still work because it's still the same connection, so you can come up here and pretty much spam anything that you want in and get the same result out of it. Now, if you're wondering which one of these is best for you to be using, that kind of depends on what you're needing to use it for. If your only goal is to use just 2 laptops and share one single monitor, or a laptop and a desktop, or 2 desktops, keyboard, mouse, any of that, then you're probably better off going with an actual KVM. Now, if you're somebody like me who uses a multi-monitor setup and uses a laptop and a desktop on it, something like this is actually really useful because each one of my monitors has more than 1 video input. So I actually just run a cable from the laptop and a cable from the desktop to each monitor, and then I just run my keyboard and mouse and any other USB devices through this switch, so it works out really well for me. But in the end, either one of them will work just fine. Just depends on what you need to use them for.